Hi, welcome back, Geometry people. We are looking at 3-5 parallel lines and triangles today. First thing we gotta look at is postulate 3-3, called the parallel postulate, also known as Euclid's postulate. This postulate gave rise to all Euclidean geometry, and what you think of Euclidean geometry is pretty much your guys' book, okay? Because there's different kinds. If you get bored one day, ask me about them. Okay. What this postulate says that through every line and a point not on that line, we'll call it P, there's exactly one line that passes through P that's parallel. Because if you try to draw different lines that go through P, you aren't going to get one that's parallel. Okay? There's only one, and that is your parallel postulate. Okay? And you may say, why is that important? Well, Euclid developed all of geometry based on this one concept, and here's why. From that, you can say that the sum of all the angles of a triangle add up to 180, also known as the triangle sum theorem. You guys probably heard that before. What basically says is this angle plus this angle plus this angle equals 180 degrees. Now, here's what I want you thinking about. What else is 180 degrees? If you're thinking a straight line, you're thinking around the right terms, okay? Now, the proof is going to require us to draw an auxiliary line, okay? An auxiliary line is one you draw or add onto your proof. You do have to know it when you do. So go ahead and write this stuff down. You have a little bit to do. Well, you do. I got a joke for you guys. What do elves learn in school? The alphabet. I'll let you think about that one. Alright, get in pause if you're still writing. We're moving on. Oh boy, you guys are not going to be excited to see this, but it's very important. Okay. Let's prove this. This is what Euclid did that pretty much created all Euclidean geometry and all triangle theorems. He said, well, I have a triangle ABC. Given there's a triangle. I want to prove that for any triangle ever grabbed in the world, if I add up all the angles, it adds up to 180 degrees. Okay. This one's going to start a little bit differently than what we're used to. He started with draw a line PR parallel to AC. And you're able to do that because of our parallel postulate. It says that at least one exists. Well, it actually says exactly one exists. Then what he did was said PBC and 3 are supplementary. Because, well, this angle plus this angle is going to add up to 180 degrees. It forms a linear pair. Then he said, well, PBC plus 3 is 180 because definition of supplementary angles. Then he said, PBC is equal to the measure of 1 plus 2. That's because the addition of your parts is equal to the whole, your angle addition postulate. Then he said, I'm going to plug in measure of 1 plus 2 for PBC because they're equal. When two things are equal, you can substitute them in for each other. Okay? Then he said, angle 1 equals angle A, and angle 3 equals C. This was the big deal. That's because if you look at our picture, if I extend this line out a little bit, right? I extend this line. We get parallel lines crossed by a transversal. 1 and I'm going to put 1 here just so you see it. See how these are alternate interior angles? And then over here, we have, here, I'm going to do this. And then we're going to say 3 will match up here because your alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay? Once you have that, you can do the last step where you say, well, my measure of A, angle A, which I'm substituting in for 1, plus measure of angle 2, plus measure of angle C, which I'm substituting in for 3, equals 180 degrees. So for any triangle you pick in the world, all the angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay, here we're going to try to find the value of Z. So let's take a look at this beast. Okay, so we're looking for this guy. Well, first thing we're going to have to do is find X. Take a look at X. You can see if we set up the equation, we're going to set up 43 plus 59 plus X equals 180, because all these have to add up to 180 degrees. Okay? So we get 102 plus X equals 180. So we get X equals 78. Okay? Now how am I going to find Y, guys? Well, Y and X make a linear pair. So I know 180 minus 78 has to equal Y. Well, that means Y is 102. Now how do I find Z? Again, they all have to add up to equal 180. So I do my 49 plus 102 plus Z equals 180. So I get 151 plus Z equals 180. So I get Z equals, subtract from both sides, 29 degrees. So take a moment, kind of wrap your head around that. If you need to pause, go back, go for it. Are we good? Just remember, all the angles in a triangle add up to 180. Okay, I'm going to make this guy a little bit bigger. Okay. So now we're going to talk about something called an exterior angle of a polygon. Okay. Your exterior angle would be if you extend one of the sides and you have this little extra angle out there. Okay. And then your remote interior are the ones that aren't opposite your exterior. Okay. So you can see here, this one would be your exterior angle, and these guys would be your remote. Oops. Exterior angle, remote. Okay? Keep that in mind. The remote ones are the ones opposite of the exterior. Okay. So here's our triangle exterior angle theorem. It states if you take the sum of your two remote angles, it'll be equal to your exterior angle. And that's because a triangle adds up to 180 degrees on the inside, right? This plus this plus this add up to 180. But also, this plus this add up to 180 because they're a linear pair, guys. So, what I end up saying is measure of angle 1 equals 2 plus 3. Now, there's other ways to find this too if you get in a pinch. So, forget this theorem. You can always figure it out. Okay? So, soak this in for a second. Just put it in your brain. Let's see it in action. In a triangle, measure 1 is exterior angle, and 2 and 3 are remote interior. Find the missing angle measures. Alright guys, I always have to draw these out. So I'm going to draw a triangle. And it says angle 1 is exterior, so I'm going to put a 1 here. So 2 and 3 are my interior remotes. Okay. So first thing they tell me is measure of angle 2 is 24. So this guy's 24. And 3 is 106. Now how do I find 1? Well, remember, angle 1 is going to be equal to angle 2 plus angle 3. Okay? So I'm going to plug in my value. So angle 1 is going to be 24 plus 106, which is going to be 130 degrees. Okay? So there we go. That's number 5. I'm going to erase this mess. Fill in my new values. Okay. Now for number 6. They give me 1 is 70. 2 is 32. Well, again, I know 1 equals 2 plus 3. I know that sounds weird. It's angle 1 equals angle 2 plus angle 3. Actually, it's measure of angle 1 equals measure of 2 plus measure of angle 3. So 1 equals measure of angle 2 plus angle 3. So I subtract my 32 from both sides. And I get 38 equals angle 3. And we're done. Okay? So that's all I have for you for this one, guys. If you have questions, make sure you ask them. Big thing, interior adds up to 180. Your exterior angle equals your 2 remote interior angles. Okay. Have a good day.